I don't think that there's enough attention on doing all ages shows. I think that there needs to be more places for that because, to be honest, like the enthusiasm that you get from like a younger crowd is more. It's just there's just an unbridled kind of energy that comes from like kids who are like going out to shows for the first time or whatever, like I don't know. Yeah, I think that needs to be addressed a little bit more for sure.
Yeah, it feels like being in a band is like just being a jingle for beer commercials sometimes. Okay, so the first album you have is Fugazi, Red Medicine.
I'm sick with this, I'm sick with it. Situation that violent, without judgment. My own sweet down, didn't teach what I found. I didn't recognize simple things anymore.
Yeah.
Why is this on here?
I love Fugazi. The production and like the experimental recording that they did on Red Medicine. There's some really cool, really sick tracks on there. So yeah, I think and Fugazi is like whether we like it or not, somehow they've become more and more of like a very obvious influence on our band. I think just Nicole's bass playing and like Callie's like weird kind of like riffs that she like creates and then me trying to piece it together, I like and make glue to like carry it all together. Is just like there's all these different like rhythms going on, but it all makes sense in this really weird way,
Are you more into Ian MacKay's singing or Guy Piagetto's?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm more of an Ian MacKay person.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's quintessential to me. Like that's his voice is the Fugazi voice to me. That's just me.
He does kind of sing the popular songs on this one.
Yeah.
Bed for the Scraping is kind of like the one that sticks out, and he sings it.
I fucking love that song. Like that song's so cool. Like, like I could listen to that song. It'll never get old. It's just so badass.
So the next album you have is Gang of Four.
This is always like whenever anyone asks us who your main influence is, we always put Gang of Four.
Yeah.
Like when I first joined the band, like we would like after practice we'd like crush some beers, put Entertainment on Callie's laptop, and we'd just dance around like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of strange that you guys it doesn't seem like a party record to me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you said, an art record that you sit around to and contemplate.
Oh, man. It's just like there's so much danciness to that album. I don't know.
Yeah. No, there is. It definitely is pretty danceable for a punk record. I was going to ask you, so you kind of talked about how bass heavy it is, and I would say Fugazi in general is kind of bass heavy as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So is that what you're all about? Like kind of like bass driven stuff?
Well, I think especially since Nicole joined the band, a lot of the songs have been driven by bass lines, and like I think that that's just de facto, like having her style in the band is just kind of like we've steered in that direction. And so, I mean, I've always like paid attention to bass, like, I think that a solid bass line can make or break a song.
Totally. It kind of like makes a song interesting rhythmically, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that Nicole's really good at that. She like experiments with turning it into more of a focal point than rather just like something that's sitting underneath the guitars,
The next album is Iggy Pop and the Stooges, Raw Power.
Give me danger, little stranger, and I give you
I mean, that's just like, you gotta put that on. It was tough between the predecessor and this one, but I think like Shake Appeal, like Give Me Danger, like just like all those songs are amazing.
You kind of alluded to like the original trilogy, Iggy, all the Stooges albums are kind of essential. They're
exactly.
But if you had to pick one, probably Raw Power.
I find that like de facto, it's got the most rotation for me.
It feels like a good bridge between Iggy Pop's solo records, the early ones, and the Stooges.
Absolutely. That's a really, really good point. That's a really good point for sure.
Yeah. Kind of like The Idiot and Lust for Life are big albums for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, record nerds talk about this album constantly. There's like a billion different releases with different mixes. There's like the Bowie mix. There's like the Rough Power mix. The second Iggy Pop mix. Is that something you're interested in, or is that kind of just like a boring conversation?
I mean, it's not boring, but it's definitely not something that I've paid much attention to.
No, I get that though. It's kind of like the songs kind of like are what's important.
Yeah, I guess that's what I focused on for sure.
And like the main crux of the mixing discussion is that
there was literally just 3 tracks. It was like guitar, vocals, like Iggy, and then everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, whoever had to touch it afterwards was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and on Search and Destroy, I think it was just basically like Bowie and Iggy just sitting there like just like trying to like move like the guitars up or down or out just like on the fly. Yeah.
And this is like one of those albums. Like another thing is there's like the Heavy Liquid box set of this, which is like 6 CDs or something, like a billion tracks. And it's like every single outtake, like E-Pop farting into a microphone is on there.
Yeah, I would love to get a copy of that fart for sure.
Yeah, it's a great fart.
That's a golden fart right there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Next album is Self-Titled by ESG.
I'm gonna erase you, just like a drawing. Erase you, flush you like my toilet.
So that was a fuck up by me. I realized that what I had been listening to forever was a compilation album. I think it's like Dance to the Best of ESG or something. And so I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I was just basically, it's not a particular record. It's just the band in and of itself. That's just so cool. Like so cool. They were like formed in the Bronx in like 1978, you know, they were live band, you know, and the members have rotated over time, but like it's just such cool music. Like the song Erase You, it's about like a shitty guy, you know, and it's funny, you know, erase you like a drawing, erase you, you know, flush you like a toilet. Like it's just hilarious and awesome. But like all those break beats and like they had like bongos and like crazy percussion going on, like I can't imagine being at a show. Like, I would just lose my shit. Like, it's so cool. I showed Eva ESG a couple of years ago, and she's just been like, holy fuck, thank you. Because they're just, like, as a drummer, like, you know, and, like, an ex-raver kid, you know, like, it's just so cool.
Totally. Okay, moving on.
All right,
Next album, Sonic Youth, Goo.
Yeah, so this was, I put this on the list for Nicole. Sonic Youth is her favorite band of all time. And I think Goo specifically, like that record is just, it's so, it's like so 90s, you know, it's just all the music videos. They're like the best music video band. They're just so amazing. Uh-huh. But yeah, like all the songs on the record are really cool. You know, it's a very feminist record. It's like making fun of pop culture, and you know, it's just it's just got like all the cool elements.
I was just gonna say it's like the most significant Kim Gordon album up until that time. Kind of her most popular song, sure. Cool Thing.
Cool Thing, yeah. And I just love that song so much. It's just like, you know, it's a very Kim Gordon song. I like. Have you read her book at all, Girl in the Band?
No, I have not yet.
Yeah, but like, you know, being a female player in like in the boys club is like it's a difficult position to take. So it's nice to see her come to the forefront, you know. Yeah, and you know what? I just like, you know, I love them so much. Like just how lush the guitars are with like the just like the droney element, you know. There's something kind of like unpolished about the band that I really like, and it just works so well, you know.
This is cool. Like, these 5 albums kind of do sound like your band. Like I guess it's a good descriptor. Like, if
that's really complimentary. I appreciate that.
No. So speaking of albums, are you guys gonna make an album, or are albums dead?
We're sitting on one right now. Actually, we recorded a full length in July with Dave Shipman, who's got a really great resume, but he recently, he did Morbid Stuff, the Pup, right? He's done basically all of Pup's albums.
Yeah.
Because we had kind of an in to get Dave to work with us, because, you know, Pup has been on Roll Mountain for a long time.
You guys are kind of known for having a really good high energy show that's kind of like unhinged and wild. Is that kind of like your guys' trick? Because it's so hard in 2020 to get people to show up to shows, right? They have like Netflix, Pornhub, YouTube at home. There's like...
Well, basically, we try to bring Pornhub and Netflix to a live setting, you know?
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. I think that, like, people often regret not coming to our shows, which is hilarious. It's hard to get people to come out. Like, I can even, I'm guilty of that, too. Like, I love to sit on my ass and pet my cat while listening to podcasts, you know? It's one of my favorite pastimes.
What do you think are the positive and negatives of the Toronto music scene?
I think that because Toronto is kind of like the entertainment hub of Canada, there's a lot. And I don't know, I feel like there's just so many little pockets of cool things going on all the time that it's really exciting, you know? Like, I moved from Vancouver about 8 years ago, and I just remember being like, where do I begin, you know? I also think that comes with, like, the negative aspect of that, which is, like, it's very industry, you know, because Toronto's such a big bustling city, like, venues get shut down really quickly.
So looking over the kind of the albums you listed off, they're all, like, obviously classic albums, but they're all kind of old. Is there any new bands right now that are kind of worth giving a shout out to?
I've been listening to Idols like nonstop for like the last 6 months. Because I just recently discovered that band. I would say Friggs. They're from here. They're really cool. I love them. Nicole really loves Dilly Dally.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't know.
Cool.
That's
enough.
Sums her up. Yeah, it's more than one.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all the questions I have, to be honest. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, though?
I don't know. I mean, it's customary to plug shit, right?
Yeah.
Something. So in March, we're playing New Colossus Festival in Brooklyn. And then we're doing a hop, skip, and a jump to play South by in Austin, which we've never played before. So that's just kind of one of those cute little milestones you put on your band resume. Looking forward to that. And then in May, we're going to play Pooza Fest. And then we're going to play punk rock bowling in Las Vegas shortly after.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. We're playing with like Circle Jerks, Propaganda, and it's crazy. Crazy bill.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for making the time, Caitlin.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. All right.